Everybody's getting to their chairs. I will, okay, about one more minute. Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to the 28th Annual Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Banquet. I'd like to introduce our head table guests. I'm Mark Irwin. I'm a longtime chief of officials for USA Boxing in this area. And our first guest tonight comes to us from Rochester's St. Kateri Church. This is our heavy hitter for the Lord Jesus Christ, Deacon Lon Smith. The 2011 Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Humanitarian Award honoree, labor activist, 50-year Teamster, and our president, Mr. Gino Arilotta. Our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame 2010 Amateur Boxer of the Year, the proprietor of Irwin's Gym, Irwin's Boxing, and our Vice President, Irish Theodore Irwin. Our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame 2018 Outstanding Coach Award honoree, the first female head coach in the history of USA Boxing, Coach Gloria Peak. Our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Scholarship Award winner, right here from Rochester, Miss Lucy Farnham. Our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Amateur Boxer of the Year, young man is going to see us tonight, Mr. Manny Gonzalez. Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame's 2018 Media Award honoree, Rochester's gift to the world of ring announcing, the world's finest ring announcer, in my opinion, Mr. Henry Discombobulating Jones. Already up here is our 2016 Courage Award winner, came to us from Canada. Bobby Gunn's not able to be here this evening, but we've got an actual world champ instead. We have the former super welterweight champ of the world, Mr. Fitz the Whip Vanderpool. Seated with him is the head of the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame and his wife Judy, Mr. Scott Bird. Our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame 2018 Integrity Award honoree, a 1996 U.S. Olympian and the former WBC lightweight champion of the world, Mr. David Diaz. Yeah, I got one right here.
Oh, okay.
And now, our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame 2018 Courage Award honoree, 1980 U.S. Olympian and the former IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Mr. Leroy Solid Gold Murphy. And now when we're gathered here, we'll bring up Deacon Lon and for our invitation.
Before I begin in prayer, is this on?
It is on, yeah, you gotta hold it kind of.
Okay. Before I get in prayer, I want to say thank you very much for having me here, and thank you for putting me very close to the end, because there's some very tough people here, and if I need to get out of here quick, I want to be by the door. Let's all begin in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we ask that you bless the food that we are about to receive tonight, the hands that prepared it, and Lord, make this special this evening There are people here that have spent a lot of their time preparing this event to honor people who have given their lives and dedicated their lives to the sport of boxing. We honor them. We honor these men and women. We honor the referees who dedicated their lives, the promoters of this sport, and the boxers themselves who have given their hard work and dedication to a sport that has a symbol, if you will, of the sacrifice that Christ made. When I looked at the gloves and I see everlast, I think of the everlasting love of Jesus Christ. When I think of the blood shed in the ring, I think of the blood shed by our Lord Jesus Christ for our salvation. I think of all the great gifts that these men and women have given here today. And Lord, I ask that you bless them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. In light of that, I just wanted to say a couple words about those who've left us in the past year. You know, we had two actually pretty bad losses for our club in the last year. I mean, obviously the world of boxing's lost a number of people, you know, in the past year, but for us in Rochester, you know, on August 19th, it was a sad day. I think for most people that grew up in this town, when Ron DeFrance left us, you know, if you grew up here, you know, especially like I did in the 60s and 70s, it was, you know, Ron was a huge part of our culture and our life here. You know, he was a sportscaster on Channel 13. I don't know how many of you met him, but he was always just a very nice. I mean, his on-air personality was him completely. I mean, he was just a very effervescent person. You know, he loved the city. He loved us. He loved the sports fans, and you know, he covered everything. He was loved boxing. He loved the Amherst. You know, he was just it's a real loss to our community. So, you know, I'm sorry that he's gone. He lived a long, full life. You know, and we're glad of that. But rest in peace, Ron. And the other one is Jack Monroe. We just honored a couple of years ago. And I am so thankful that our club honored him, because we honored him in 2015. And I'm glad we did, because, you know, the Connecticut Boxing Hall of Fame hasn't honored him yet. And I talked to Pete there, that's, you know, one of the high-ups in that club, and he says, oh yeah, we're going to honor him posthumously. Well, I think that's really a shame. You know, yeah, you honor him posthumously. You know, you honor your posthumously, you don't know it. You know, it's like, you know, it doesn't really, I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm glad for him to be honored, but at the same time, I'm glad we in Rochester honored him when he was still alive. So, and it meant a great deal to him. You know, in his obituary, it was actually mentioned prominently in it, you know, his honor from this club. So I think that indicates how much that it meant to him. And, you know, so it, you know, makes me proud to be a member of this organization, because he really was, Jack Monroe. If you know, everyone here and several people here have talked to him. I don't think there was anyone in the world that really knew the sport the way he did. I think Jack was, in my mind, was the greatest boxing expert that I ever spoke with, and he was just a good, kind, decent man. So it's a real loss to us, and it's a loss to the world of boxing. So I just have a moment of silence. Rest in peace, guys. Thank you. Now, next time, we have a welcome from our president, and we all know and love Mr. Gino Arilotta.
Welcome, everyone. You're going to have a great night tonight here with all these stars up there. And some are right in the audience still. As soon as we say the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll carry on. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have changed around the roads.
Yeah, hold it away a little bit.
This year, the Carl Masilio Scholarship Award goes to a young lady with exceptional qualities. She graduated with a 4.36 unweighted GPA.
All right.
She has taken a liking to foreign languages and cultures since the 7th grade. She will be pursuing a double Japanese and Spanish major at the University of Rochester. She has so many ambitions, one of which is to become a U.S. diplomat. Talking about smarts, this young lady certainly has them. The Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame is happy to present the Carmen Basilio Scholarship Award to Lucy Farnham.
Yeah, they're coming down.
No, Mother. Ask me later. Take a picture.
Hey, Gloria?
I got it.
We have it?
Joe 003649.
Yeah.
Howard Cosell II.
He's twice. Yeah. They don't.
Okay, how do you like that? All right.
He's a living legend. I'm those
Okay, green.
It's all over.
Okay, 973-68. Okay, well, I like to keep the suspense going, so read them all. 9973-73. 9973-73. All right, we'll have another one. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Okay, everybody ready? 9973. Guess it's not going to go that way. All right, this is for the beer there. We'll rough it out the beer. 99.
You should take a picture with her.
Hello, everybody. So I guess I would just like to start by thanking the Boxing Hall of Fame for giving this award. It's very generous, and college isn't getting any cheaper, so it's very, very much appreciated. And I'd also like to thank my parents, because they're the ones who got me this far. So.
Okay, we were kind of playing it by ear here. We told the wait staff we would start eating about 7:40. So looking at the time, it's about 7:23. So I think we'll do one more award. Let's see. Today we have our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Amateur Boxer of the Year Award. So we have some past winners in the room here, and we have a very good one for this year. So to introduce that is our president, Mr. Gino Arilotta.
Okay, this year we have a young boxer who routinely works out at the Rochester Fight Factory and is trained by two of the best coaches around, TJ and Q. This young man has an amazing record and is destined to make it to the very top. The Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame is happy to present the Amateur Boxer of the Year Award to Manny Gonzalez.
TJ, I see you recording. I want to thank everybody for coming out and seeing me receive this award. I want to thank Miss Peaks, TJ Nolan, Q, Coach Munoz for being in my corner. I want to thank my parents. Without them, I won't be here. You know, I've made it far while everybody in my corner and supporting me. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, I guess with that, we're ready. Want to start seating, and everybody's these, and then we'll have a lot more after that. So thank you. That's your yellow stop.
All right, we'll let Manny draw this.
Okay, our amateur box of the year, Manny Gonzalez. Okay, that's ticket number 027.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the door prize is just a picture of his doing. 427. Yellow ticket. Your yellow ticket. Mr. Malicki. Four? Nicholas? Our outstanding coach, Henry, is ticket number 110. 110. Carol. See what he does.
Next one is 100.
And our next and last winner now is number 100. Number 100. Tickets, it's the yellow ticket. Okay, what do we think? We're going to draw another one.
Number 7.
Number 7.
007.
Okay, your orange tickets now. This is the 50-50 drawing. We're going to shake it. Hold on, Orange. We're just going to shake it up good. And how much is in there? 157? Okay, $158. So we did pretty well on that. The 50-50, it's going to be the orange ticket. And we will have, how about having Josie? Josie Vasilio draw one for us. Draw the orange ticket.
Hey. Oh, okay.
Thank you, my dear. Okay, it is. Okay, it is ticket number 003649. Let's try it again now. It's the orange ticket. 003649.
Well, another one.
Say that again. 94. Say it again.
I did, yeah. Thank you, Gino.
I think we have a winner.
Certain half off.
It was 99-74-14. 99-74-14.
Oh, where's the table?
Where's that?
The U.S. Olympic boxing team. Well, thank you, Coach. Okay, here it is. There's a few people who want to say a few words. Hey, Scott, would you like to say something?
Well, I'm going to accept for Bobby, and I can put that.
What's that?
I'm going to accept Bobby's award for him. Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll push it on. Okay. Okay then, another special guest we have tonight comes to us from across the border, the Dominion of Canada. He was our 2016 Courage Award winner, a real friend of the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, and just somebody that we're very glad to call our friend, the former super welterweight champ of the world, Vince the Whip Vanderpool.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here amongst you guys. And the Whip has come back to Rochester! It's good to be back amongst you guys. You know, I had a good time. I was inducted in 2016 for the Courage Award. And just so you guys know, that award, my nickname is Vince the Whip Vanderpool. The Whip stands for with hope, it's possible. With hope, it's possible. You have a goal, you have a dream, something you want to accomplish. If you believe in yourself, work hard, dedicate yourself, you can accomplish whatever goal you set out for yourself. Now, when I was inducted, or I got the award here in 2016, that was from a fight that I had with one of your former world champions here, former IBF world champion Charles "The Natural" Murray. And that fight was back in 1995. And incidentally, Charles knocked me out. Yeah, it was good. It was good though. It was a good experience. You know, because you gotta keep in mind, you don't lose, you don't learn from all your wins, your victories. You learn from your losses too. And I learned a lot from that. So from that fight back in 1995, I got knocked out by Charles Murray. In the 6th round, I went down face first, boom, got back up to my feet. By the time I got back up to my feet, my brother who was in the front row in the audience was in the ring hugging me, holding me up. And I was like, what are you doing in the ring? Weren't you in the front row? And he's hugging me and I'm like, yeah, I love you too, you shouldn't be in here. And I was so upset because had I gone 10 rounds with Charles, which I was determined to do, my stock would have risen like that. I would have skyrocketed my stock. So after that loss, my family and my brother told me I should quit boxing, retire, get out of the game. Being a fighter, I didn't want to quit. I didn't feel it was time to retire. So I stayed in the game. My next fight, after being knocked out, now usually when you have a manager, I was self-managed, self-financed, self-promoted. So I was doing this all myself. Normally when you get knocked out in a fight, you know, your manager gets you some easy fights, builds you back up, builds your confidence back up, and then you get back in the ring again and do your thing. Well, I got a call, I got this opportunity to fight one of our Canadian fighters. He was 13-0 with 10 knockouts. 13-0 with 10 knockouts. He was knocking everybody out. He was in the weight class above me. I got offered a fight in his hometown for the title, for the Canadian welterweight title. And an opportunity like that, I had no choice but to accept it because nobody was giving me a chance. So to me, that was my opportunity. Timing and preparation creates opportunity. I trained hard for that fight. And I made the best of that opportunity. I went in there against Charles Murray. In his hometown, he was a bigger man. I'd just been knocked out the fight before, so he had everything going for him. But I had the will. I trained hard for that fight. And in the first round, so check this out. So I'm in Edmonton, his hometown, and they're announcing the fighters. They said, and in the red corner from Kitchener, Ontario, Vince the Whip Vanderpool. And my two corner guys are clapping. That's all you're hearing. I'm like, didn't they hear it? Just they announced my name. I'm okay, no problem. And in the blue corner from Edmonton, Alberta, Tony, the bad boy. The whole place goes wild. They're all cheering. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, clap for me, no problem. So, you know, we get out there, the bell goes ding ding, you know, where I'm dancing around, flashing. Tony Padilla coming to me, he's going, moving around dancing. Then he comes up and clips me with the left hook. Boom, I went flying back against the ropes, dazed. The referee jumped in. gave me the 8 count. At this point, I'm praying. I'm like, God, please help me. I told everybody back in the kitchen there that I'm bringing this belt back. You gotta help me. So, just say a quick little prayer. Got the 8 count, come back on. Boom, boom, boom. I took it to Charles, you know. I wasn't gonna give up because I was determined to win this fight. And I kept going, second round, third round, I kept taking it to Tony. You know, he didn't know what to do because usually he'll hit guys, body shots, and they're down. He was hitting me those shots, and you know what? I kept taking them, kept going to him, kept backing him up. Now, in his mind, he's going, what is it going to take to stop this guy? I'm hitting him with body shots that are knocking out most guys. And this guy keeps coming at me. And you know what? It was my training. I was so prepared for this fight. I was determined to win this fight that nothing was going to stop me. Come the 6th round, the whip comes out. Remember, the whip is with hope as possible. I hit him with a. He went reeling back. I jumped on him. He's like this. He's helpless on the ropes. Referee jumped in and stopped the fight. I'm like, I won. I couldn't believe it. It's like, you know what? I knocked out this guy who was knocking everybody out, and I had to come from behind. Now, remember, keep in mind, this guy just got knocked out the fight before, so I wasn't supposed to do this. But timing and preparation, I prepared myself in such a way that this was my time, and I made the best of it, and I won that fight. Now, after that, the referee raised my hand, I was the winner, you know, put the belt on. I didn't really know what happened. It wasn't until later on that night, when I left the arena, I had the belt on around my waist, the fresh air hit me. I'm like, wow. Like, this isn't a dream, this is real. I'm like, woo! I'm the champ. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And so what I'm saying is, the timing and preparation, prepare myself in such a way that I was able to win that fight. Didn't matter what I had to go through. I walked through whatever I had to walk through to get the job done. And I was ready to make that happen. So I was thankful that I never gave up when I was advised by my family and others around me to give up, to pack it in, because in my head and in my heart, I knew that there was more. The fire was still burning deep and there was more I wanted to accomplish. So I'm thankful that I kept on and did what I did. From there, had I quit at that point, I went on now to win 6 championship belts, including a world championship. I've been inducted in a couple Hall of Fames. I have my own boxing academy where I've been training fighters for the last 15 years. I send underprivileged and at-risk youth to summer camp free. You know, I have my own nonprofit working with underprivileged nonprofit or underprivileged or an at-risk youth. I wouldn't be sitting there talking to you guys if I had quit and packed it in. Quitting is not an option. What I found out, I sat back and looked at all my friends, and I thought to myself, you know what? I got lucky. I got lucky that I was able to win 6 belts. And the more I thought about it, I realized the harder I worked, the luckier I got. The harder I worked, the luckier. You know what? Yeah. It made perfect sense. I thought, you know what? If my friends want to get lucky, you know what? All they got to do is work hard too, and they get lucky. So that being said, you know, I want to encourage and inspire these younger fighters out here who are trying to chasing their dreams, chasing their goals, no matter whatever it is. And not even the young fighters, but just, you know, everybody in general. Just keep in mind that, you know, no matter what you want to accomplish, it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of dedication. It's going to take a lot of sacrifices. But if you're willing to put those things into it, you can be successful at whatever it is you put your mind to. Because with hope, it is possible. Right? Believe in yourself. You can do whatever you believe you can. Right? God bless.
Thank you. Wow. Phenomenal. Well, 2016 Courage Award winner. It's wonderful. Well, now, to introduce our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Outstanding Coach Award honoree is Mr. Gino Arilotta.
Okay. In the long and glorious history of boxing in Rochester, we have been blessed to have a number of coaches who have gone out from us and earned a national and sometimes international reputation in the fight game. Tonight, it is the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame's privilege to honor probably our best-known boxing coach, the founder of the Montgomery Boxing Club, a 1997 winner of USA Weekend Magazine's Caring Coach Award, a 1999 Geneva Sports Hall of Fame inductee, and the first female head coach in the history of USA boxing. And the lady is right here, Coach Gloria Peak.
Thank you, Gino. I have to let you know that it's a real privilege to be here tonight. I've won a number of awards for my years of coaching, which span 40 years now. And I continue to win awards. I'm scheduled for some awards in the next month or so. But none of those awards mean as much to me as this award given to me by the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. The reason for that is because I'm being honored by my hometown. There's nothing like being honored and recognized by home. This is where I started, and when I started, I tell you, I really, I didn't see down the road that, I would not only be in this game for 40 years, but to have accomplished many of the things I have accomplished. I've made history, and that history is because of what I was able to do here in Rochester. Is rooted in this town. I am the first and the only woman ever to coach men's boxing in the history of boxing on the Olympic level. I mean, that's some accomplishment. I didn't know that was coming, but I should have known that was coming based on the training ground here in Rochester. And, it's been a wonderful journey. But my journey is because of the young people I had the honor and privilege to help raise, and who also, as I trained them, they also trained me. And without them, I wouldn't have gone on and done the things that I've done. And all of us sitting around here, I think everybody always wants to leave some kind of legacy. All of us, no matter what our field is, what our background is, we want to leave a legacy behind. And I'm no different. And I'm extremely fortunate in that I'm able to see my legacy come to fruition. And a lot of it is right here in Rochester. I want to introduce to you some of the young men who are helping to make that legacy, bring that legacy to fruition. First, Timothy Nolan, my son from Fight Factory. Jeff Peer, my other son. He has his own club. Another one of my sons is here that I was ecstatic to see, that I had not seen in years, Carl Thomas. These are just some of the gentlemen that, I've had the honor to help raise. And, I've been able to pass on some of my talents, my abilities, my beliefs, and everything to them. And one of the things that a good coach, a great coach, always wants to happen, and that is for those individuals to not only rise to the occasion, but to surpass you. That's when I know I've done a good job. When my boxers can surpass me in the same field, the coaching, going on working in the community, getting to the community, then I know that I have really succeeded and I have done something great. And Shot, you are just fabulous. You have not only risen to the occasion, but you surpassed me, and I'm so very proud of you. I love you so much. The rest of my guys are on their way. Jeff, just another one. To have everybody come along and have their own boxing club is just, I never thought that I would see that before I leave this good earth. It's nice to be able to have that happen. So again, I want to thank the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. I want to thank my kids and my family, and I want to thank the city of Rochester for allowing me to give back and give them something great. Thank you.
Well, I guess now, thank you, Claudia. Now was the time when we were going to have Bobby Gunn come here. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it. He's training for a fight, but he's not here. But nonetheless, we do have Scott Bird here, so we'd like to give a nice, warm Rochester welcome to the president of the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame, Mr. Scott Bird.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. First, as the president of the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame, let me just make it clear that there's only the presidents that really, and their teams, that really understand how much work it takes to put on one of these. Jack Green was an icon in Buffalo that did it. Gino is an icon here, and I just want to say thank you, Gino, to you and your team. What a wonderful, wonderful job. It's nice to come up here. In 2014, we honored the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. We honored women that year. And yes, there were bare knuckle boxing women back as early as 1722. And I'm so proud that two of our honorees, Gloria and Mercedes, are here today. It's like a whole run week for us. Just 10 years ago, I was only a guy who owned a barn in Belfast, New York, about 2 hours from here. 2 hours from here and 2 hours from Buffalo, right down next to the Pennsylvania border. Our town is so small, we don't even have a traffic light. But we do have the original 1889 barn that John L. Sullivan trained in for his iconic fight against Jake Kilrain. And that now houses the only Hall of Fame in the world dedicated to the bare knucklers. It was locked up for 130 years until myself and two friends of mine in their 70s restored the entire, locked it, found all of his equipment, and restored it. You know that fight back then? 75 rounds, 2 hours, 16 minutes outside in 104-degree weather for $20,000 in 1889 money. That's pretty good. So from 10 years ago, just being a guy who owned a barn, to now, just the end of August, I was center stage on pay-per-view TV, handing out the coveted Police Gazette Diamond Belt. Bare knuckle boxing in the last 6 months has been legalized in 2 states. It was never legalized before. Wyoming first, and then Mississippi. And in 2 weeks, we're going back to Mississippi to give it out again. I'm the only man in the world who has been given the honor, and it's a humbling honor when I got called up by the Police Gazette to be the only person who can name bare knuckle champions in the entire world. This belt, and this was started in 1882. Now, I've recreated it because it was melted, and it is back there in the case, diamond-studded belt. We did find some inserts and recreated that. Champ said he had 6 belts. We could go through here and list all the belts that you guys have got. There's belts out here. I gotta tell you something. Every single belt ever raised in any sport owes its origin to that belt. That belt. So if you want to get your picture taken with it, you can. Now, as far as Bobby Gunn is concerned, you fighters, you managers, you'll fully understand this. He owns the heavyweight championship of the world in bare knuckle boxing, 72-0. He received a challenge 10 days ago from Santos Borges, 29-3 gloved, 82-18 underground bare knuckle for the light heavyweight title. No man in history has ever held 2 bare knuckle titles. Bobby really, really wanted to be here, and I mean that sincerely. And if you know Bobby, you know that he was devastated that he couldn't. But you folks do understand this. 10 days ago he was challenged, he was 215 pounds. Now, he's 195. And he is living every day in that fighter mode because 2 weeks from tonight, he fights for that second title in Mississippi. And he said, I want to be there, but I'm in that fighter mode. So if you're a fighter or a family member of a fighter, you know what I'm talking about. Where you could bite the head off a dog. But he's down on the East Coast training, and I humbly accept the award for him. And I invite all of you to come down to Belfast, New York, and to see the only Hall of Fame in the world as my guest.
You know, we were introducing some of the coaches and some of the gym owners and whatnot that are here tonight, and I wanted to introduce someone, a coach actually, that at the end, actually he's a friend of mine. We met, I'm thinking we originally met in Canastota, although I'm not 100% certain. I think it might have been one of the national events in Kansas City, maybe. I'm not 100% sure anyway. But I just wanted to, you know, this dinner would not have been the dinner that it is tonight if it hadn't been for the fact that I had a friend that I could call, and I said, you know, we need some fighters, and you know, we need some people that, you know, to honor with our award. I told him what our awards were about, and some good possibilities, and he came back and said, oh yeah, I know somebody that'd be perfect for it, and really just helped us put this whole thing together tonight. He came here and he actually drove 10 hours the other night, and I just want to give a nice Rochester welcome to Coach Ernie Brown, who really Thank you, Ernie. I feel like he should be up here with us actually, but he's unable. But we will. That'll happen soon. I'm sure, very shortly in our future. Anyway, and that after saying that, tonight the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame has the privilege of honoring with our Integrity Award a man who has consistently displayed the quality of integrity while campaigning in the lightweight division during one of the most talent-laden periods of its history. I mean, if you look at the lightweight division, when this guy was fighting, look at the names that are there, it really was quite a time. You know, Aaron Reed's gone to battle with Humberto Soto, Jesus Chavez, Manny Pacquiao, Eric Morales, who just got inducted into Canastota this past year, and this man beat Eric Morales. Jose Santa Cruz and Kendall Holt, among many others. The philosopher Shannon L. Adler said, to hide yourself in God, so that when someone wants to find you, they'll go there first. We're proud to present a man of integrity in all areas of his life, our 2018 Integrity Award honoree, Mr. Dangerous David Diaz.
Thank you very much, Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, for this award. I really appreciate it. Didn't expect anything from coming out all this way out east for me, to be honest with you. But I'm humble, very humble for it. I brought my family here today, my wife, my beautiful wife, and my 3 boys, who again, I'm blessed that I was able to do this sport and that I love it. So for the young guy here, I've been talking to him and he seems very determined, which a lot of the kids do. We went to his your gym earlier and we met a lot of young kids that definitely love the sport of boxing. And all I can say is treat it like your girlfriend. Right? Right? Or in that sense, someone or something that you really cherish and you love and you respect, because at the end of the day, respect comes a long way with that sport. If you do good by it, it'll reward you back. Again, thank you very much for this, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. And tonight's an extra special honor to present our Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Courage Award to a man who's displayed the quality of courage in both his professional life and his personal life for his entire life. Ayn Rand said that courage is the practical form of being true to existence, of being true to truth. Courage is the practical form of being true to existence, of being true to truth. Our 2018 Courage Award winner was a U.S. Olympian who unfortunately got caught up in the vortex of history and was denied the chance to represent the United States in Moscow, but still rose to the very top of the world in both the amateur and pro worlds, winning the 1980 Alternative Games and in 1984 becoming the IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world. We are proud to present to you our 2018 Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame Courage Award honoree, Mr. Leroy Solid Gold Murphy.
I'd like to thank him for coming out here and y'all come out to see us for this award. And I had a lot to talk to Mark about because he said he was having problems with the boxing here for the association. And I belong to American Boxing Organization. And we're going to try to help Mark a little bit to get some fights started out here. I promise I'm going to help his son to get a tournament this summer. So, you know, I'm just glad to be here today. ABM is American Boxing Organization. I'm the chairman of the board. And Ernie is one of our officials on the board. And mainly we help a lot of fighters get do fights and can't afford insurance or homeless or something. So that's what we do now. So we sort of take care of lots of fighters now. So we see a fighter that needs some help and it's in our tradition, we have that person. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Champ. Wow, Leroy Murphy. Does everybody remember that in 1980 when President Carter decided that he weren't going to go to the Olympics? I mean, there were a lot of guys. This man right here probably cost him about $1 million probably, because he would have been a gold medalist. And, everybody knew it. But anyway, that's politics. You can't escape it. Okay, well, now, last but certainly not least, tonight the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame is going to honor a man. We're very pleased to be able to honor a native son who has risen to the very top in a very difficult and competitive field, ring announcing. The man we honor tonight has been seen and heard in boxing rings throughout the nation, as well as on television wherever boxing is broadcast. Our media award winner is the first continuously working African-American ring announcer in the history of boxing. He's often referred to as the Barack Obama of the ring. And our native son, I think the best boxing announcer in the world, Mr. Henry Discombobulating Jones.
Mark. We're ready to do it, so let's get to it! Certainly, it's an honor for me to be here, a privilege and a pleasure. I give all honor to God, undisputed champion of us all. Give the master a rousing round of applause, first of all, because we certainly wouldn't be here without his help. I got to respectfully disagree with the whip. It's not luck. It's being blessed, man. You are truly blessed for what you said, what you've overcome, and what you're doing for the youth. That's a blessing that you're giving back to the youth. So it's nothing lucky about that. You were supposed to do that. That's right. That's right. So thank you for receiving that too. Thank you. That's right. I, as Gloria said, just so honored to be back at home because, you know, you might not be welcome or honored someplace else, but if you're recognized by your peers, by your family, that's what it's all about. This is the loyalty right here. No matter what I do elsewhere, this will always be home. You know, I certainly like to recognize Mercedes Vasquez-Simmons for allowing me to be her ring announcer, Pretty Girl Promotion. Down in Charlotte, North Carolina, now I'm coming that way. I can sell tickets down there too now. That's right. That's the bottom line. That's right. It's a win-win situation for everybody. And that's what we need to do. You know, the acronym for team is together, everyone achieves more. Not just me, my, I, but all of us. You know, my family's here. I certainly want to recognize them. Let's start with Gordon Long. Gordon. That's right. High school friend from number 4 school, Bronson Avenue, when he and his best friend at the time beat me up. Y'all had to jump me. I was that tough then. Y'all had to jump me. But now look at this. 60. Well, I'm not telling how old we are. I'm just saying. 54 years later. Now you and I are best friends. Isn't that something? That's how that worked, you know? So we came back together because we never left each other, even though we were kind of nemesis at the time. So thank you, man, for being in my life. Thank you. Okay, let's go to my sister next to you. Ibina. Yes. Always been in my corner. From a little boy, she told me, she called me a thesaurus. I had read the entire dictionary because she said, "You're really into words, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I got another one for you. It's called thesaurus." Right? She said, "Because I want you to know as many words as possible, because certainly when people use words against you, they can harm you for life." So thank you for giving me that thesaurus. She's been the president of my fan club ever since. Thank you. That's right. Motivate me academically. Matter of fact, after I graduated from college and came back here for 1 year, she kicked me out the house. Because she said, "You know, you said you wanted a doctorate degree." She said, "Now, you got an $8,000 job, bought a $9,000 car, and you can't even bring toothpaste in this house, but you riding around like you got it like that. You got to get out of here." And she kicked me out, really. She said, "I'm going to give you 1 month." And so I applied to graduate schools, and praise God, I got a scholarship to go down to the University of Maryland School of Social Work and got my MSW degree. But thanks to her for having that tough love. And that's what we got to have for our children. Not just their friends, but their parents. And teacher responsibility. So thank you, sis, for always being in my life. All right, let's go to my nephew here, Chad Asante. That's right. That's a graduate from Morgan State University. We've been in his life, all his life. That's right. Even when it was tough love and he didn't want to receive it, he knows now because he's a responsible father himself. And now he sees the lessons that we're trying to impart. So I admire you, man, for what you've been doing with your own son. So give him a round of applause. That's right. Next to him, this gentleman. We weren't friends in high school because we were rivals. He went to Marshall. He was at Madison for a minute. Then he went to Marshall. You know, our nemesis, punt returner, wide receiver, running back, defensive back, all city, everything. That's right. And we stayed friends when we became adults. We started going around the fights together, and wow, it's been just a great journey, man. I'm glad you're here with me on it. That's Daryl Moorhead. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. Next to him, my only living brother. That's right, Ronnie Jones. And he taught me what it is just to be a man and a family man, responsible. I get my work ethic from him. He was voted the #1 salesman for Life magazine in the entire state of New York back in the day. Life magazine. Okay, I know it was one of them, man. The point being, that's right. So I started selling greeting cards. I had a paper route. I stole your, I don't know if you know this, I stole your shoe sign kit one time. When I was about 10 years old, I went down to Lopez. Anybody remember Lopez at the corner of Genesee and not Genesee, Jefferson and Harley? Right, so I didn't know how to shine shoes, but I thought I knew from looking at him, right? So the first guy I got up to, he had brown hush puppies on. So he said, touch up my shoes. Touch up. I said, okay, brown. I'll put some brown polish on. You can't put brown polish on brown hush puppies. So that was my one and done. But I was trying, see? That's right, I was trying. So thanks for teaching me a hard work ethic, though, man. Thank you so much. Next to him, this lady certainly brought her to my life and me into hers, because, I mean, this is my better half when I'm just the other half. And she allowed me to have a mistress called boxing. This is my newlywed wife of 6 years now. Next week will be 6 years. This is the lovely LaTanya. Thank you. Next to her, this is my oldest sis, and certainly, I don't think I've ever told you this, sis, but I think our mother would be so proud of you, the lady that you become. I've seen over the years, you've overcome a lot of challenges, tragedies, and you just kept on being that matriarch that our mother would have wanted you to be. So this is the roses blowing, just blossoming. Thank you, roses. And certainly last but not least at that table, this gentleman. Just as tough as they come, back in the day and still to this day, wrestling coach from Madison High School, my teacher in class, and certainly he stayed loyal all these years following my career and just taught me that I can't give up. He told me there's going to be some challenges. I wrote a book. He critiqued the book. He said, Henry, you got a great memory, but you got a little some inaccuracies in it now. Technically, he said the guy didn't run 50 yards. He ran 75 yards. I'm like, okay, but he ran, you know. But that's right. Being technical is what it's all about. You got to be correct on everything. That's right. And as you see, this is my brother from another mother, because we don't have the same pigmentation, but we got the same character. This is Mr. Murata. That's right. Frank Murata. Thank you so much. Speaking of that, as you heard, I'm the only, well, I guess because of longevity and accomplishments, the most prominent African-American ring announcer in boxing history. I started actually right here in Rochester, and my mentor is Michael Buffer. I said, let's get ready to rumble. Met him at the War Memorial. The promoter at the time was Rising Star Promotions. What's his name? No. Cassidy, Jim Cassidy. Who said that? Go ahead. Thank you, my man. Jim Cassidy. Is he still around? Yeah. Man, tell him I said hi and thank you. That's right. So he called me up. He said, Will Jones, he said, that was a good idea for you to come home to announce, but you know, ESPN is bringing in Michael Buffer for it. He said, but I want you to come and just sit with him, you know, maybe there's an opportunity. You know, so I was kind of, you know, praying that his plane would get delayed or he'd come down with laryngitis, you know. And God can't bless no mess like that, right? But I prepared myself, as you heard earlier tonight. You got to prepare for your own success. So I dressed up hard. I went to the weigh-in, got all the information just in case. So I'm sitting at ringside when he walks up. And I stood up to meet him. And he looked me up and down. I'm dressed like him. And I said, how you doing this evening, sir? He said, I'm fine. How are you? I said, well, I'd be much better had you not taken my job this evening. You know, he said, oh, he said, you must be Jones. He said, the promoter told me about you. He said, I said, do you mind if I sit with you and just learn from you, you know, just to see what this is all about, because I think I'm serious about it. He said, no. He said, you know the fighters, right? I said, yeah. He said, you could tell me who they are. So I looked and studied him all night, and at the end of the night when TV went off, he said, you know, it's a shame you all dressed up, no place to go, so why don't you go? And he handed me the microphone. And he said, go in the ring, let me see what you got. So it was 2 bouts left. And so at the end of the second bout, he said, you know, son, he said, you got chops. You got chops. He said, I like your ring style. He said, I've never done this before. I don't know why I'm being led to do this. He said, but I'm going to help you. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, are you really serious about it? I said, well, I think I am. He said, okay, we'll see. And so he gave me his number, and, you know, the rest is history. He had me on stage at Madison Square, Radio City Music Hall, Atlantic City. When he couldn't announce fights, he would tell promoters to hire me. I wrote this book called It's More Than a Notion. He wrote the foreword for the book. Matter of fact, there's a little self-promotion right now. I'm selling this book tonight, and with some proceeds going to Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. You're going to recognize a lot of situations, circumstances, and people in the book. I only changed some names to protect the guilty, you understand? You know, but the first 18 years take place right here in Rochester. You know, from Herman Street. Anybody know Herman Street from back in the day? Herman? Okay, one person. Okay, I tried. We moved from there quickly too. Right. Hanover Projects, and we went to Troop Street. Then we went to Jefferson Avenue. Then we went to Flint Street. You know. Right. So I talk about the athletes as I saw them because they were really motivational for me. I couldn't play sports. I was a late bloomer, as they call it. Thank God, a late bloomer. Mr. Arilotta said, Henry, don't come out for the wrestling team because they're gonna break you in half. Best advice ever took. Thank you so much. You know, so during my senior year, I started coming to my own academically. Got all these literary awards, and on graduation night, and I know my sisters and brother will remember this. And may he rest in peace, Mr. John Wilson, Principal, Madison. He said, wow, Henry, you got Henry, I don't know what we call him. Yeah, Henry, you got a lot of awards tonight. He said, and that's what this is all about. He said, it's great to be athletic. He said, to get scholarships to play ball. He said, but really, athletes, I want you to look at Henry because your academics going to take you further than anything else. And the athletes stood up and applauded me. And man, what that did for my self-esteem. And that's what we have to do for our youth. We got to give them some easy victories, some quick victories in their development early in life to build up their self-esteem so that they can realize their dreams. You know, I spoke to the youth today. Thank you, Theo, for allowing me to do that. And we got to let our youth know that they have worth. They have talents, they have skills. They have vision for themselves, and we need to tune into their vision that they have because they're the only ones that can see it. We can help them with it, but they can see it at an early age. These kids are supremely talented. You know, so I work in D.C. now for 36 years. I'm the supervisor for the city, for the running and the missing and runaway youth. It's a tough job, working with MPD every day and Office Attorney General, Child and Family Services, Department of Behavioral Health. You know, it's a pressure cooker. You know, I thank God for putting me in that position, you know, to be that supervisor for millennial staff that I have, which is a different world. Anybody got millennials? Oh my God. The generation gap is for real. But as I heard earlier, you two, I'm learning from them too. You know, they got me up on IG now. I can do that, right? You know, so it's working out. You know, I was buying this expensive water to drink with the pH factor. They said, well, actually, all you have to do is cut up lines and put in cheap water, really, because it raises the pH factor. So that's what I've been doing, you know, lost some weight behind it, feeling good. You know, so we can learn from each other. You know, God put us together for reasons. I only spoke to Gino on the phone, you know, over the years and met him a couple times here, but it's like our spirits connected. You know, we, and Mark, of course, over the years, been the chief of officials, New York. You know, we just never left each other's spirit. And so when we connected yesterday when we got in, it's like old times. So now what we have to do going forward is put it all together. Leroy in Chicago, youth have the same problems in every city. So we need to collaborate to show our youth how to fight this good fight for life in and out of the ring. So I'm here available with you, for you. David Diaz, I'll be contacting you. You know, I've been given this vision to go around the country I'm going to go to LA. The first black ring announcer license was in 1925. His name was Jim Bostic, real fair-skinned, light-skinned guy, 1925. So, you know, the old saying, you know, if you the light is right, brown stick around, black stay back. So, you know, it's still true to this day, really. You know, we know racism is alive and well, but we got a chance to do something about it right here in this room. We're brothers and sisters, and we can lead this good fight outside this room. So anyway, going to LA to see if I can get in contact with Jim Bostic's family, get a soundbite for this documentary that we are making. Then we're going to go to Detroit, because you remember the name Emmanuel Stewart, Crunch Jim, Tommy Hearns Jim. Well, Emmanuel Stewart, before he passed, told me he had a ring announcer in the 1980s, real dark guy, and the TV wouldn't allow him to be on because of his dark pigmentation. He said the guy died of a broken heart. He said, so Jones, I know what you're up against, what you're going to be facing, but he said, don't give up. I've seen you. He said, you got the talent. He said, but do you have the will? It's one thing to have the skill, but do you have the will? So here it is 30 years later, I haven't given up half of my life. So the breakthrough is about to come, and it's about to come with us on this journey together. So I'm going to make a challenge to you, Gino, and Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame to help me get into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I think I deserve it. I don't have 30 more years. Okay, let everybody hear it.
You've got my support and the whole Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, and Josie Basilio's support and endorsement. And, you know, there's a little list ahead of you, but you're going to be in there, and I hope to see it. And I hope to live long enough to see it.
Thank you for saying that. Okay. So, again, selling this book tonight. It's actually free, but the autograph costs $20. And you can't have one without the other. So please patronize us so I can help the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. And certainly we're going to do some great things together. Pretty girl, we need you back.
Yes, I want to be back.
All right, that's right. You heard that, Leroy? The organization can help her come back, and we can all win together. Thank you for allowing me to share, and God bless.
That's about it for tonight, but, oh, yeah.
Come up here, Gino. I got something for you. Come here. That's right. As Scott said earlier, Scott, I've announced Bobby Gunn's fight before pro boxing down in Nashville. So you tell him. Thank you. And I want to go to Mississippi with you too. All right. So you have been given a tough job following your predecessor to build this organization back to prominence. I know it's tough for you. We're going to be here for you. And when you get down, I want to give you this to remind you to continue fighting a good fight, because we all win when you win.
Thank you a lot. I appreciate it, and I'll do the best I can to not let you down.
God bless you, my brother.
Recognize a couple before. Jeff Peer, he is the Peer Boxing Club. Let's see who else. Larry Leote, I want to thank him for donating those pictures you saw up there in the front. He's a member of our boxing. Thanks a lot, Larry. Larry, it's so nice to see you, Larry. And Scott, thank you very much for that donation of beer and for being here. And thanks, Judy, for helping out. And Fitz, always good to see you.
You know what?
I can't go down like this. I'm gonna tell you what. I got my book here. It's called The Whip. Right? With hope it's possible. coincidentally, for an autograph is $20. And I am going to donate that proceeds to the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. So you know what? Let's get it on. Let's get it on. $20. Proceeds to the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. That's certainly appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's see, did I forget anyone?
Thank you, Jim. Our boxers and our honorees, our inductees for this year, the class of 2018, will be happy to sign your programs, whatever else you have. We just ask that you start from this end, okay? Just walk around this way and, just keep it organized. There's no need to shove. They'll get to you. These guys are all very nice about signing their names, and this lady. Just come from this direction, and thank you, and stick around and talk about the fights. Have a good night. Thank you. See you next year.